Hill.
Hey yo, what's up? This is Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and it is a Tuesday. And I am here with Marshawn Powers, who is on assignment right now out in Maryland. And Mr. Powers, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing okay. You know me, Rachel. I'm always doing great, but being stuck here on assignment in Maryland longer than I wanted to be, it got me in a little sour mood. But I always get to. It always gets better once I get behind the mic and able to talk some of my favorite sports with the first lady in sports, Rachel Hill. So how was you? How was your weekend, first of all?
Man, it was way too short. You know how it is. I'm like, why is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the shortest days of the week? I can't stand that. I always wish it could be longer, but got a chance to hang out with some friends and handle some business and stuff like that. I do a little officiating on the weekends. So take an opportunity to officiate some games, dealing with some athletes and seeing what it's like being on the other side. Joey Bosa is about to get fined for complaining about officials. But, people don't realize that officiating is something that's very hard to do. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little bit later. But how was your weekend?
Well, it started out kind of rough. My Terrapins got whooped on by the Iowa Hawkeyes. Woo.
Hold on one second. Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Was you expecting anything other than that?
Yeah, I actually was, man. I'm not gonna lie. I normally don't get excited for Maryland football whatsoever, But this year, you know, I I thought that we would do great this year. I thought my personal ceiling was a good bowl game. Something other than the TJ Maxx bowl game. I thought we was going. I wanted us to see at least. I wanted us to be at least 9-4, hopefully 10-3. But so I thought we possibly could be Iowa. I don't think we'll be Ohio State this week. But hey, you know, my
You
it
you
felt
said
good for a couple weeks.
well, wait, you said I don't think we'll beat
No,
Ohio
no,
State
we
this week,
no.
as if there was ever a chance that that was something that was going to take place.
It
I
was a
mean,
chance. We lost our number one wide receiver out to it was a gruesome knee injury. I got to the game late because of traffic in the DC area, but when I walked in, I saw our number one receiver Dante Demons blow out his knee, and that kind of put a damper on my mood for the game. So yeah, I don't see us beating Ohio State, especially with our number one receiver down.
so let me ask you this: so outside of your number one receiver being down, you still thought that they had a chance against beating Ohio State?
I thought it was no. I was like ESPN. ESPN always give everybody a chance. They give even if they give Ohio State a 96.4 chance, there's still a 5.6% chance that we might be able to, 3.6% chance that we might be able to win. So I thought it was a possibility. Ohio State ain't playing up to my standards this year, so I thought it was a possibility that we could possibly anything is possible. Anything is possible. It was possible that the Vikings would beat the Browns this weekend. It looked possible. So
That's professional football. You was looking at possibly a 40-point spread in college football, and a forty
yeah,
point spread don't exist for no reason. So, one thing I got to give it to you is, your belief in your teams and, your ride or die mentality. We had Caleb on yesterday, and he was letting us know that you were texting him, and, you were letting him know that the Terrapins was going to let Ohio State have it. So, I do admire you speaking up for your team and having the belief system that you do, even though I think in your heart of hearts that these ideologies will not come to fruition.
yeah. I mean, in my heart of hearts, I'm a Terrapin now. In my blood and in my mind, I'm still a Buckeye. And in my mind, I know the Buckeyes is gonna take care, especially after what I saw them do to Rutgers on Saturday. Yeah, I think they're starting to trend on the right side of the water.
Ohio State is your birthright, excuse you.
It is. It is. That was the one I grew up and loved. But one thing my mentor, shout out Mark Gray, when I first started going to the University of Maryland, I was all Ohio State. I didn't care that Maryland. I didn't look at Maryland as a rival to Ohio State. I would wear Ohio State stuff to football games, basketball games, and my mentor Mark told me that you gotta ride with what the opportunities is gonna be. If the opportunities is gonna get you somewhere great at Maryland, then you gotta at least fake it till you make it. So I tried faking it, but I found a little love in one of my vibes in my heart for the Maryland Terrapins, and it grew bigger.
So how's that?
Why are you looking at?
Because I don't know where you getting this from. I don't know where you pulling this from, but I admire I admire this fortitude and tenacity when it comes to repping your school. I guess I don't know what I would do if I didn't go to Ohio State and I had to rep another school. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I got my master's from Cleveland State, but Cleveland State doesn't have a football team, so I don't know what I would do when it
Did you root
came
for
to.
Cleveland State when they made it to March Madness this year? Even
Oh,
though
absolutely, absolutely. And a couple years ago, when they made it in, I believe 2009, and that was the same year that Ohio State lost to Siena. So Ohio State got knocked out first round, and Cleveland State made it to the second round. So
so
I was absolutely relieved.
If Ohio State and Cleveland State meet up in the round of 64, are you torn between two, or are you going where you got your undergrad at?
I'm going where I got my undergrad at. So no, I would not be torn between the
But
two.
see, that's not fair because Cleveland State ain't known for their sports program. I mean, basketball program is okay, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they're I mean, the soccer program is actually pretty good. I was watching them the other night, but other than that, they're not. They don't have a football program, so they're not nationally known for. I mean, basketball, they got Norris Cole and then a few names that people outside of Cleveland may not know, but they're always competitive every so often. But
If Cleveland State was ever to beat Ohio State and everything, I'm like, oh, okay, oh,
But man,
yeah.
enough college talk, man. I've been watching a lot of professional sports this weekend, and I got some stuff I need to get off my chest.
Well, let's start off with the Cleveland Brown versus the Miami Vikings. What are your thoughts about said game that took place? Cleveland Browns a victory, by the way, 14-7.
um,
That doesn't even sound right. When
it doesn't.
I had to think of the score for a second because I couldn't remember, and I'm
It
like 14-7. That is a baseball score right there, folks.
it doesn't. So one thing I have to say is that unlike most Cleveland Browns fans, like my expectations, I don't consider them unrealistic. I consider them either you meet them or you don't meet them. And because we made it to the divisional game last year, I came into this season with high expectations. One of my expectations was to see a full fledged offense, not just like I said with you and Willie last week on the Sports Back Groove show, a run dimensional offense, which AKA a one dimensional offense. I wanted to see a dominant offense. Right now within these first four games, I have yet to see that. I've seen a dominant run game, but I have yet to see an all around dominant pass game. 4 games and our receivers have yet to get 100 yards or score a touchdown. That's that's unsanitary. I'm gonna just say that. That's unsanitary. I had to think of the right word. That's very unsanitary.
Odell came close last week. I think he
Yeah.
had 77 yards,
Yeah.
but 77 ain't
Yeah.
100.
77. I'm telling you, 77 and 100. I mean, I tell you this, 77 is good enough to get you 1,000 yards on the season. I mean, what if that's what everybody is goal is, just get 1,000. You only need 62 a week. Well, no, you take away, you got an extra game, so you might need less than that because it's 17 games this year. But that's besides the point. Like I came into this game saying I've seen what I need to see from our run offense. I need to see number 6 step up. I need to see them tight ends step up. I need to see my wide receivers step up. And I didn't see that Sunday. I mean, it could have been the Vikings cornerbacks. They've been getting a lot of flack. So they felt like this was the game that they needed to step up. But I just felt like we were better than them. I mean, I didn't think that missing Jarvis Landry would be that much of a crutch to our passing offense, and it seems like it is. It seems like Jarvis, as much as I've said that I would choose Odell over Jarvis as if I had to keep the two, I might be biting on my words now because it seems like with Jarvis out there, the passing offense is alive. With him not out there, the passing offense looks like the passing offense from 2016, 2017. So I'm going to give my letter grade for this game A minus. The defense and the run game stepped it up. The pass game could have been better. It wasn't terrible. It could have been better. The line wasn't good, but it could have been better. But I'm gonna still give it an A minus because, in my opinion, games like this, the old Browns will lose. The old Browns would have lost the game
We
like this.
talked about that yesterday. We
They
talked,
they gave
yeah,
they
absolutely.
they would have gave a game like this away. And for the fact that you struggled, you got through the mud. Denzel closed it out. Greedy played amazing. Sack McKinley played amazing. Miles looked like a beast among beasts with no sleeves out there. The defense is coming into fruition and they're looking great. So, as much as I harped on the offense in the past game, I mean, I like what I'm seeing from the team overall. Outside the pass game, I feel like the pass game is going to get there because honestly, when Baker Mayfield says I had a bad game, the next game he plays lights out. Usually, but we'll see.
Yeah, but Baker didn't play in a way. He hasn't played well since the third quarter of the game against Kansas City. Him and the
Right?
receivers. That I think that was their strongest output. And I think I've asked you before,
Mm-hmm.
is this the best? Was that Kansas City game the best that we are going to see Baker Mayfield and the receivers play? Because the running game is on point. Obviously there's nothing bad you can say about the running game, but you still week number 4 do not have a wide receiver that doesn't have a touchdown.
Yeah.
How does that even work? How are we 4-0 with stats like that? Because I don't understand how that works. By some miracle,
Yeah.
the running game has been able to get all of our touchdowns, but you have people whose job on the field is to catch the ball, run with that ball,
Yeah.
and get in the end zone with that ball. And nobody has done it for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you missed a wide open Odell Beckham
Twice.
on Monday, but on Sunday, one where he had the defense beat, and that was a touchdown right there. But that one was more significant because you put the icing on the cake. You only needed 14 points to win because you kept them at 7, but that would have put the icing on the cake. That way, with a minute left, I'm not pacing. I watch the games with my dad, and my dad is like, "Why is you pacing?" I'm like, "Because you don't know what you're gonna get out of this team right now." And they had to defend to the very end because they weren't able to put up any offense really.
Yeah.
So that was the defense that kept that game in check for us. But I don't know what universe is. How is this team 3-1 without any touchdowns from any wide receivers? I don't know how to explain that to
I
people.
mean, it's kind of like how Buffalo is 4-1 with no run game. Buffalo is beating teams strictly through the air and because they have a good defense. Is it going to become a point where Buffalo is going to need a run offense? Oh, of course. I think the Browns aren't trying anything new. They're going off of what's beating teams, and what that is the elusiveness of Nick Chubb, and then the barbaric monster Kareem Hunt is. It's hard to beat the Browns when you have an top 10 offensive line and you have two running backs that could both run through you, but one guy that's a little bit more elusive with it and one guy that don't care if he break your body in half.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing that I tend to ask this to myself, but I'm gonna ask it every week now. I ask myself every week, has Baker Mayfield showed that should be paid 40 million? Week 1, I said yes. Week 2, I said, I'm indifferent about it. So it's kind of, I'm in the middle. He hasn't changed. It hasn't been yes or no. Week 3, I kind of was in the middle still, but I kind of feel like no. This week, I definitely feel like no. I feel like, no, like Ella said a few weeks ago, I feel like if we can find a range in that 35 to high 30 mark for Baker Mayfield, I'll be ecstatic. I'm not one to count people's money, but I am one to try to keep a team together. It seems like that you need to keep a solid team together for Baker Mayfield to be great. I have yet to see Baker Mayfield put a team on his back. That's why I argue preseason that it's too early to put him in as a top 10 quarterback. I'm not downing the guy, but I just feel like there's certain check marks that other top 15 quarterbacks have done that Baker Mayfield has yet to accomplish.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that when we come back. We gotta take a break really quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. Can you believe it's that time again? Fall is on its way,
You don't hear.
right around the
Okay.
corner. Sweetest today, and we have a sweet treat for you. EDB Productions presents The Intruder, Saturday, October 9th at the Front Stage Multiplex in Cleveland Heights, 3492 Mayfield Road at Severance Town Center. The show begins at 8 p.m. with host DJ McDuck and Cleveland's own Triple Exposure. For more information, call 216-331-0024 or call 216-401-9815. Don't want to miss this epic event. The Intruder, live at the Front Stage Multiplex, 3492 Mayfield Road in Cleveland Heights, Saturday, October 9th. Brought to you by EDB Productions and WOVU 95.9 FM, Burtonville Car Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And always keep in mind that you can listen to us online at WOVU.org. You can always give us a call at 216-271-0959. And also download that WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go. And you can always watch us via StreamYard on Facebook. And I'm here with Marshawn Powers, who is out on assignment in Maryland, and he posed a question. He said he was going to ask, he's been asking himself, he said he was going to ask himself every week, is Baker Mayfield playing like a franchise quarterback who deserves upwards where the market could dictate $40 million a year? And outside of that Kansas City game, I'm going to say no. Anybody who makes over $40 million a year should be able to throw a touchdown to his wide receivers. So do you blame Baker Mayfield for that, or do you blame Kevin Stefanski for that because of the play calling?
Um, that's a tough one, man. I can't really blame Kevin Stefanski because like I'm one of the guys that know how to read the tea leaves. Again, for those who don't remember, Stefanski was asked in January if he thought Baker Mayfield was the franchise quarterback. He didn't answer it. He
Oh,
passed.
yeah,
He. Well, Rachel, you remember this saying back when you was growing up, passing the
yeah,
buck.
yeah.
Stefanski passed the buck to Andrew Berry. So if I mean, if you, I ain't listen. I ain't the brightest bulb out here, but I guarantee if I went to Bruce Arians and asked him if Tom Brady's his franchise quarterback, he's gonna say yes. I guarantee if I go to Atlanta and ask Arthur Smith if Matt Ryan is his franchise quarterback, he's gonna say yes. Hell, if I go to if I go to Minnesota and ask them if they thought Kirk Cousins is their franchise quarterback, they gonna say yes. We don't have that answer from about Baker Mayfield, so you got to blame it on Baker because he hasn't shown the coaching staff, he hasn't shown fans. Hell, I mean, I keep saying that word, but I don't even think he's even shown Odell Beckham if he's the franchise quarterback because I don't really believe that we've seen an entire year of Baker Mayfield, an entire solid year of Baker Mayfield, an entire year, a Pro Bowl year, a near Pro Bowl year. You know, everybody's been talking about what he's done his rookie year, which Justin Herbert broke all those records. You know, and I mean, everybody's talking about what he did about 3/4 of last year, but I need to see a full year before I can say, you know, it's not nobody else's fault but Baker Mayfield's. Because come on now, Rachel, you miss a wide open pass. Come on, Rachel, a wide open pass to OBJ. That ain't Stefanski ain't say miss that pass.
Well, let me ask you this. What did he say? Did he answer the question at all, or did he say, I'm going to defer to Andrew
I'm gonna
Berry?
defer. I'm gonna let Andrew answer it.
Well, I mean, we have to also think that they didn't draft Baker either. That's not their guy.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew was here, so I mean, my thing behind this is I do I think Kevin Stefanski is 100% committed to Baker Mayfield? No. I think he's 70% committed to it because they're winning. But I think Stefanski came here with the goal to beat Kansas City. And I think this year, if they don't beat Kansas City, I think it'll possibly be a conversation. Hey, should we sign? Should we keep him? Or is there a way that we could possibly, trade him for somebody else, i.e. Deshaun Watson? I'm going to stand on what I said. I believe if no matter what Deshaun Watson, his problems that he got on, I still believe that he could be a very good quarterback for this team. I still believe that with Deshaun Watson on the Cleveland Browns, and this is all speaking as if Baker can't take us past Kansas City. I believe Deshaun Watson can. I believe he can use all these necessary weapons that he has. I don't think we'll just be a run-dimensional team. I think we'll probably be the best offense in the league, top 2 offense in the league.
Yeah, because this is year 4, and a lot of people are still making excuses for Baker Mayfield. Now it's, well, he might be hurt. Okay, well, there's no confirmation that he's hurt. He's not sitting out in practice, and Kevin Stefanski even kind of not threw him under the bus, but he was honest and truthful. And he was like, well, I can't tell that there's an injury by the way he practiced, so that's saying something as well. You're not even giving into something could possibly be wrong. So, like you said, I don't know if they're necessarily committed to him at all. They might not be. And I would say I'm not surprised at all. But Kevin Stefanski is always known for, being given the truth and not mincing words. So, he even admitted, but everybody's trying to not put any blame on Baker, and Baker has to play better. I will admit that, I do respect the fact that Baker did say, I don't know what this was. I need to be better. I need to do better, because if you had and it doesn't even have to be a quarterback with more experience, but a higher tier, a bordering on elite quarterback would have feasted upon Minnesota and all these other teams, and we would have had much higher scores than what we do. So I don't know what the answer is for Baker, but Baker right now is not playing like somebody who deserves $40 million a year at all. And I think Baker could even admit for himself that that's true, but he ain't gonna his agents will never admit that. They're going to try to get every dime they can, but this guy is not playing at this level.
They're going to play the whole, he was the number 1 draft pick. So just because of the fact that he was the number 1 draft pick and that's what he was slotted in by being the number 1 draft pick, they're going to play it as if Baker deserves it. But if I'm the Browns, I play hardball. If you don't feel like, now if Baker goes out after this week and plays like Steve Young back in the 90s, hey, get your 40 million. Get your 40 million, Playboy. But if there's still some questions by week 13, week 14, if I'm the Browns front office, I'll drag this out one more year. I'll franchise tag him. Go to Dak route. Look, Dak got his money. Well, look what it took. Look what it took Dak to get his money. So, I mean, if you still don't feel comfortable with the Browns, with Baker after this year, and what fortunate for Baker, I give him the respect. He hasn't been a distraction about it. He's been playing along with it. He's been, being mature about it. So I got to give Baker that. I got to give him that respect right there. But at the end of the day, man, I need to see better, because at the end of the, I can't go into a room saying, oh, well, my team is good, but my quarterback isn't. I want to go into a room and say my overall team is good. I got the best defensive end. I got one of the best quarterbacks. I got the best run game. I would love to go into a room to say that. But how can I say that? And last thing, how do I believe with the addition of Josh Gordon that he can even take us over the cliff to beat the Chiefs?
Hey, because who had the ball in their hand with an opportunity at the end of the game to win the game?
And what did he do? Tripped and fell and threw an interception and blamed it on stepping on somebody else's feet.
Oh, he said he stepped on somebody's feet?
Yeah, they said that the guy was trying to sack him, or he tripped over the feet, whatnot, and that's what caused him, because he couldn't get his feet up under him. That's what caused him to throw the interception.
To me, it looked like it was dead set at, towards in the vicinity of both the Kansas City player and I don't know who was he trying to throw to that when it got intercepted.
The rookie.
It was right there at both of them. So yeah. I never believed that for a second that he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds, because it landed in the hands of the defender for Kansas City. So absolutely. I never believed that story, because if you trying to throw it out of bounds, you're an NFL quarterback, a number 1 pick, you're going to throw it out of bounds. It went into the hands of the defensive back. So I don't believe that for a second.
No, I
So
agree. I definitely agree.
yeah, I mean, they have to stop with the excuses. They have to stop with the lies.
Yeah.
And, Baker is who he is. And, he will never be a elite quarterback. Serviceable quarterback, absolutely sure. But you have to have all these weapons around him
You have
for
to.
him to
It
be
has
able
to be
to
perfect.
service
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if
Look
it's
at what
not
Lamar.
perfect,
Look at what Lamar has. I'm now I feel like it's time that we compare the quarterbacks. Look what Lamar has. Lamar lost both his starting running back, his backup running back. He lost his starting receiver, his backup receiver is and he lost I think another receiver, and he lost a cornerback, which doesn't really affect him. But the
right.
defense,
Yeah.
the defense is the offense for Baltimore. So he's
Yeah.
lost all these pieces, and he's still balling out. He's still being able to will them to wins. Granted, I mean, it was against Detroit, but they beat the Kansas City Chiefs with little to nothing on their roster.
John Dorsey wasn't here for that draft, was he?
Which one? Yeah, he drafted Baker. Dorsey drafted.
No. And Lamar was that same draft class too?
Lamar was the last pick of the draft.
Oh, yeah, man. But
Yeah.
who saw that one coming?
Yeah. I tell you this, man. The person who I wanted to me has been the best quarterback out of this draft. That's all I'll say. Everybody can make their own assumptions, but the person who I wanted, and I met a guy who played with them, is the person who has been balling out, and everybody says, oh, he got accuracy problems. It's only because of his coordinator. But this guy has been balling out. And I feel like if he was here in Cleveland, we could have taught him his accuracy issues. But I feel like with Odell, Jarvis, Hooper, man, this guy would have had us on point.
Who?
Josh Allen.
Okay.
I wanted Josh Allen. But
I won't argue that.
But we got Baker now, so hey, it is what it is. As long as you the quarterback here, I'm gonna defend you in a way. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna hold you to high standards. And until Baker meets those standards, I'm still gonna be reserved about how I feel.
Right, and I need people to be able to admit that Baker isn't good enough, and that's just. Or maybe am I jumping the gun by saying maybe he just ain't good enough?
I'm not gonna say he's not good enough because hey, Baker can sling it. Baker got an arm, but Baker don't know how to control that arm sometimes because he throws a hard ball. He's accurate when he wants to be, but it's just certain times, man, when I feel like I need like a perfect pass or the guy be open and I see it. I'm thinking Baker sees it, and half the time he don't see it. And we would be here all day if I drew up a laundry list of things that he messed up on. So I feel like, with this game coming up on Sunday against the Chargers, we're going to need to see that from Baker because, granted, the Chargers can't stop the run, just like no other team we face can stop the run. I want to see a game where Baker exposes the pass game. I want to see a game where Odell goes up. I want to see a game where DPJ goes off. Where is this number one receiving room that everybody says we have?
Well, your quarterback got to give him the ball and not overthrow him or underthrow them too.
So you said if we had a better quarterback, we have the best receiving room in the AFC North or in the league.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that Baker played better, and it was the quarterback that we had against Kansas City for the first 3 quarters, then yes, this team would be successful. Baker's not been that guy since that day.
Okay.
I've relaxed on Baker a lot because I was a big Baker Mayfield critic. I was not a fan. And after last season, I relaxed a bit. He got us to the playoffs. First playoff win, and God knows how long since I was a teenager. So I relaxed off of Baker. And I wouldn't say I became a Baker apologist, but I'm like, okay, this is coming together the way that it needs to. I'm okay with it. He's put up some good performances. We almost beat the Chiefs. I looked at it that way, but the game against the Chiefs, we opened up against the Chiefs, and obviously the Nick Chubb fumbling wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. Jamie Gilliam, it was technically not a turnover, but to me it's a turnover.
Hey, that's a turnover on down, so that's a turnover.
Yeah. So, and then, his interception, that's the one that can be blamed. But you had the ball in your hand with the opportunity to win the game. And y'all wasn't that far from the end zone. So, Baker has to play better. He admitted to it because the Chargers, they ain't no joke. They won last night. We're going to get into that more after we take this break. But you are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. And we are going to be right back.
Nearly
1 minute again.
the killing of Tamir Rice, Cleveland became one of the first cities to implement a policy.
This break a little longer.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
All right.
Place with the police and the youth. Oh my goodness. WOVU 95.9. I just want to thank you for what you're doing and the awareness that you're bringing throughout the community.
Cleveland's policy calls for officers to consider factors such as perceived age, physical build, and emotional state during interactions. Learn more about this policy at the 10th Consent Decree discussion on the topic of youth and policing, Wednesday, October 13th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by the United Way of Greater Cleveland, the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP, Cuyahoga Community College, and WOVU 95.9 FM. The 10th discussion will be moderated by Fox 8 News reporter Alex Stokes, and she will be joined by panelists Gabriella Celeste of the Schubert Center for Child Studies at Case Western Reserve University, Zuri Hitchcock, a graduate of Cuyahoga Community College, Officer Brandon Tisdale of Cuyahoga Community College, Timothy Tramble of the Cleveland Police Monitoring Team, and Chief Calvin Williams of the Cleveland Division of Police. For more information and free registration, visit UnitedWayOfGreaterCleveland.org. That's UnitedWayOfGreaterCleveland.org for the 10th conversation on the consent decree. We will broadcast it live right here on WOVU 95.9 FM and stream it on WOVU.org and on our free mobile app. Join us Wednesday, October 13th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Youth and Policing, because together we can elevate change in the community. This is brought to you by the United Way of Greater Cleveland, the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP, Cuyahoga Community College, and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl Rachel Hill, and I'm here with my guest co-host, Mr. Marshawn Powers, who is out on assignment out there in this state of Maryland. I'm like, let me get my DMV area right. I was about to mess it up and sound like a rookie out here, like I never took sociology. Like I never took geography class, so but yeah, glad you're doing okay out there. And
I'm telling you this, I had some seafood on Sunday, Rachel. I ain't gonna lie, I told myself when I always come to the DMV, I can't leave without getting some seafood. I had some seafood so good, Rachel. Sunday touched my soul.
Crabs are everything, and one thing that people don't realize is how fresh from the sea you can get stuff over here, because it don't come frozen. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta wait for transport. They just transport it from the ocean to the restaurant right there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, people don't understand. It's big time, and like you said, when I'm out over there on the coast, I always try to get some type of seafood. But I fell in love with Maryland crabs. those steamed crabs when I was out there and stuff like that because I got family out there, as I was telling you. But man, I sent you a picture today with some numbers because we're gonna get to some other topics soon. But this defense, man, this defense is what's really, yesterday I used the expression the straw that stirs the drink, but this defense is everything. So we have a top 5 defense in the NFL. And right now, the defensive ranks per game, and the Browns are number 2 in yards allowed with 250.3, which is an amazing stat. Passing yards allowed, the Browns are number 3 in the league with 183.8. Rushing yards, the Browns are number 3, and they only allow 66.5 yards. Total points allowed, 16.8.
That's a
Marshawn,
that's a solid defense right there. You want to know why they rush defense is so good? Because
why?
they gotta go against the best every day in practice.
Yeah.
When you go up against the best in practice, anything and everything outside of that is virtually possible to stop. I'm pretty sure that rush defense be having a headache having to guard Chubb and Hunt every day. But man, it all starts. That defense. It all starts with that pass rush, man. That pass rush is filthy. I ain't gonna lie. I've never fell in love with a Browns defense in a while, but I'm starting to fall in love with what I'm seeing from my guy Miles, Jadavion, John Johnson III, even my guy Greedy Williams even got an interception on Sunday. So I'm excited.
That was the first interception, wasn't it?
First interception of his career.
No, for this season, wasn't it?
No, it was the first one of his career.
No, I'm talking about for the Browns.
Oh, for the Browns. Yeah. That was the first pick. Yeah, that was we didn't pick off Pat. We didn't pick off who do we play week 2?
The Texans.
We didn't no, we got abused in the past game on the Texans. Week 3, we didn't pick off Justin Fields. Yeah, last week was the first pick. Yeah.
Him, so.
We was too busy sacking Fields to pick him. So no, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this rush defense is going to do Sunday against a happy pass defense.
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes right here. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. But I think I was telling one of my guys in my group, one of my good group chats that always say I'm a Browns hater because every Sunday I'm never satisfied after a win. I'm always irritated after a win because I'm like, man, if we did this wrong, right? We did this right. We probably could have won by more. And so I told him, I said, man, great quarterbacks, they offenses are more than just one dimensional. We need a multi-dimensional offense to go with a great defense. And I would believe that this will be a Super Bowl team. I see us winning the Super Bowl within the next 3 to 5 years, but in order for us to win it, we got to be solid on all levels.
Yeah, that is very true. But do you think that if they change how they do they pass, such as running as stop doing zone and do man-to-man, numbers might improve on the passing defense? Because do you think those numbers could possibly come down?
It depends, though. It all depends. I don't think you should get away from the zone because every week it might be somebody different. Denzel Ward, in my opinion, always struggles with bigger receivers. Guys like 6'1" and under, Denzel has no problem with it. But when you get to 6'3", 6'4", then you might need to run the zone so Denzel gets a little help. So I think personally, if you go against teams like the Steelers, the Bengals, the Bucks, if we run into them this year, Kansas City again. You might want to play zone on those guys, but anybody else, man them up and get physical with them because we got the guys to do it.
I don't know if we're gonna see KC again. I'm just putting that out there.
I think we will because Rachel, here's what I believe. I believe that when they signed Josh Flash Gordon, they reignited themselves as the team to beat. Because, their defense is absolutely garbage, but they're the Brooklyn Nets of the NFL. They gonna give up
They just
42.
want the ball back.
They're gonna give 40. They're gonna give up about 40 points, but they're gonna give you 50. They're gonna get that defense gonna give up some points, but that offense gonna go. Just get our offense the ball and let us do work.
Hey, have you seen the way Josh Gordon was looking out there doing them drills? He thicker than a Snicker
Yeah, oh
now.
man, he been eating. I saw it. I was like, nah, that can't be him, man. He been. What my mom's old boyfriend say? Oh, he ain't missed a meal. He ain't missed a meal since he been on quarantine.
Hey man, he is thick right now.
Yeah,
So
he is.
I don't know if he's in football shape. Does he look like in football shape to you?
I'm gonna go with no. He looks like he was. He looks like he was. Remember when he came off suspension when we played Atlanta and he was a little heavy set then? That game when we had Brian Hoyer as the quarterback, he looked like he was then a little heavy set. Probably had him a couple beers. Ate some of that good Seattle or Houston food wherever he was. So I think we're in the next few weeks he's gonna shed a few of them pounds, man. He's gonna get back to the Josh Gordon that I know. But I honestly believe he's better than what they had in DeMarcus Robinson, Nico Hardman, things of that nature. But I still believe that Hill and Kelsey gonna get all the touches. I just expect Josh to be a decoy for him.
Yeah, so one of the things that we said we was going to talk about that I think we can reserve for tomorrow is the AFC North and talk about where that ranks amongst divisions with coming the AFC West and kind of we can talk about that tomorrow. But I want to talk with you right before we take another break, that Urban Meyer situation. And today the owner came out, Shaw came out with a statement talking about that he has to gain back the trust of the team. Have you been hearing some of the stuff talking about he canceled the team meeting on Monday that, teams have a meeting after they play and he canceled the team meeting because he didn't want to deal with the situation? This really doesn't look good for Urban Meyer.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We talked off air about, we know that he isn't the best person in the world, but this just sings a lot of volumes.
Yeah.
And he did touch that girl. There's more than one video that came out, and pretty much he was under her like center. And I'm just like, man, this ain't the way it's supposed to be, man. And Urban got to know better than that. You ain't seen no other head coaches get caught like that in a position like that. What are your thoughts about what Urban?
Man, you want to know? It's funny. You want to know a few things that I thought when I first seen that. The first thing I assumed was like, man, why would Herb have that woman up under him? What are you thinking? And at first I'm like, nah, that can't be. That woman had to be what we call a thirst trap. A woman who just, just trying to get a picture, trying to go viral. Quickest way to go viral is to go viral with arguably the greatest man that can step foot in Columbus right now. There's nobody more untouchable in Columbus than Urban Meyer. I've told this story a million times how I was listening to the Big Ten Network and Joshua, goodness gracious, I can't remember his last name. He was a linebacker for Urban out during his 14th season. Can't remember his last name, but he was telling the story about how Urban never stops at stop signs, red lights. Like Urban got the key to the city in Columbus to do whatever he wants. So when I finally seen that was the first thing that came to mind, man. It's just Urban and Columbus. Everybody's excited to see him in Columbus. But then when I seen the woman, the caption of "Look who's hitting on me," and the woman, putting her just kind of got Urban in a compromising position, I felt uncomfortable. I'm not even married, and I felt uncomfortable for Urban. So it's just a bad look. It's a bad look because I knew the NFL was gonna eat it up. They're already looking for a reason to kick Urban out the good old boys coach club. So I just think it's a bad look for Urban. In order to change his image around, I think Urban got to win some games. I thought he was going to go to Cincinnati. In my opinion, he's the king of Ohio right now. I thought he was going to reclaim his throne in Cincinnati. He didn't. So I just think the best thing he can do is to be quiet and win games.
And stop having women gyrate on him.
Yeah.
That might be something.
And you Columbus women, stop compromising my guy Urban. Stop compromising. Hey, listen. Stop compromising my guy Urban, man. Y'all trying to get my guy Urban in trouble.
I want Urban just pushed her away. Like, I'm good, thank you.
I want Urban to succeed, man.
That's on him too, but it doesn't look like he's going to, at least in the NFL. So maybe he hoping he get fired so he can get that position at USC.
Yeah, I know Chris Styles was smiling when he saw that, man, because Chris Styles ain't a cup of tea for him. Chris Styles can't stand Urban.
Yeah, we had a good laugh about it yesterday.
It happened at, you know where it happened at, Rachel. I know we got to go to break. You know where it happened at?
No, I heard it's this bar he owned in Columbus.
Urban's Pint House, one of my favorite beer places to go to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Oh,
happened at his
wow.
restaurant.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, he has to be better in that situation as well. Now
Yeah,
he made situational decisions all the doggone time.
yeah,
You couldn't have made one, and right now he's 0 for 4, so we count that as 0 for 5, and we're gonna
yeah.
take a break on that one. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We will be right back.
What you want to close out on?
Everyone deserves to know that life is better with you here. This message brought to you by the Adams Board of Cuyahoga County and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. We've talked a lot of football. We've talked the Browns. We've talked some Urban Meyer, but let's get into a little bit of baseball before we get out of here today. So, are you going to be watching any wild card action?
Absolutely. I tell you this, Rachel. This is when I turn into you as far as baseball. You know, this is when I turn into you, and I'm glued to the TV when it comes to baseball. 162 games, you might not catch me at them all, but now. This is when you see the passion, the sweat, the good, the best of the best, you know. So I'm glued into all tonight's games.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited because tonight I believe that the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees fight against each other for a wild card spot for the opportunity to play Tampa Bay, where they probably get their butts kicked once they play Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts about Boston and the New York Yankees taking on each other?
Man, I honestly believe the Yankees is gonna win tonight. You know, they both got identical records, but in my opinion, the Yankees is loaded. You went out and you're essentially the Dodgers of the East. You went out and spent money on everything. You went out and got some Balenciaga, some Louis Vuitton, some Gucci, everything. You know, you didn't bought all the high price stuff. You know, and so I'm expecting my God. Honestly, man. I know a lot of my Cleveland Guardian fans is not gonna like this, but my favorite pitcher is Garrett Cole, so I am going to I'm excited to see what my guy Garrett Cole does tonight behind the mound against the Red Sox. So I got the Yankees winning tonight.
Garrett Cole, you ain't supposed to like him.
Yeah, hey, look, Garrett Cole a bad man. That's a bad boy. I like Garrett Cole.
We did football for 45 minutes, DJ Chris Styles. Like, we talking baseball right now. I'm like, we did football for 45 minutes.
Tell DJ Chris Styles he want me to start talking about them Cavs. I got about 10 minutes of Cavs in me.
Yeah, we got some Cavs before we go. We're going to talk about the last 5 minutes because today they have
we're going to talk about the Terrapins.
They have a preseason. He said, "Y'all, you want to talk about the Terrapins?" Yeah, we're gonna talk a little Cavs too. The last 5 minutes we got because they take on Chicago tonight in a preseason game in Chicago. So that'd be super interesting. But so who you got winning? You said you got the Yankees winning.
I got the Yankees. Yeah, I got the Yankees. I got the Yankees closing. I got the Yankees beat. I got the Yankees winning. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go and say Yankees win 4-2.
And then what you got for that NL wild card between the Cardinals and the Dodgers?
The Dodgers? Oh man,
Yeah.
I got the Dodgers winning $1 million to what's $1 million divided by 10? 10 I don't know. 100,000? The Dodgers about to put up some numbers. The Dodgers is about to put up some numbers on the Cardinals tomorrow.
But don't forget, the Cardinals got hot at the right time, and they went on that winning streak. So you never know what you might get out of them, especially in a one-gamer.
That is true.
Everything on the line, but you know, you always I don't root for any of these teams, but I always like watching the playoffs just to
Yeah,
see what happened. And typically, I root for the underdog, so I'll probably end up rooting for. Well, now do with MLB Bro, I root for everybody black. Put it like that.
yeah,
So the Cardinals got Jack Flaherty, and the Dodgers got Mookie Betts, and Dave Roberts is their manager, one of the first black managers to win a World Series, other than Dusty Baker. So. I don't know, man. I see the Cards might be able to best the Dodgers, but I'm gonna go with the Dodgers.
yeah. I'm telling you to listen. They got my second favorite pitcher. I only got two favorite pitchers. I want to like Shane Bieber, but I need Shane Bieber to take us a little bit further in the playoffs before I say, all right, Shane, you're part of the Marshawn club. My second
Hey,
favorite
the
pitcher.
Yankees keep stopping us, man. We be able to move forward if the Yankees don't keep stopping us.
Well, listen, I don't think Yankees gonna be able to stop the Guardians. They was able to stop the Indians, but I don't think they're gonna be able to stop the Guardians.
Man,
Now,
what if we won a World Series next year?
hey, listen, I'm gonna just sit back. I'm gonna sit back with a cold ginger ale and just do the Stephen A. on y'all and just say I was right. But no, my second favorite pitcher is Mad Max Scherzer. And he going up against Adam Wainwright. I call this the senior citizens. That's the duel between the senior citizens. So I think Mad Max is going to best the Cardinals, man. Mad Max is a whole different type of animal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Yankees over the Red Sox. It's just something about Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge. They've been leading the way for the Yankees this season, and I look at them to have some impacts in this game coming up soon. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know if I like the wild card game. Sometimes I feel like it should be a series, maybe best out of three or something like that, not just a one game spinoff, because no other league operates like that, and baseball doesn't operate like that either. So football does, but everybody play one game and that's it. So these wild card games should be interesting. Starts with the Yankees versus the Red Sox tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN, and then tomorrow the Cardinals versus the Dodgers on TBS at 8 p.m. So, and then they get the opportunity. So who beats between Boston and the Yankees will move on to face Tampa Bay, and then you got the White Sox versus the Houston Astros and the ALDS, and then on the National League side, whoever wins between LA and St. Louis will face the San Francisco Giants, and then you have Atlanta and Milwaukee facing each other in the NLDS. Remember when Milwaukee was an American League team?
They need to be an American League team.
Ain't that so weird?
They need to remix some of these divisions up, because it's like, man, the Toronto Blue Jays won 90 games. They didn't make the playoffs. And the Atlanta Braves won 88 games, and they won. And they made the playoffs. Like, come on, man. We got to do a whole new system here. I would like for them, in my opinion, to do a lot of people don't like this NBA play-in, but I'm one of the few that actually like it. I would like to see teams like in other leagues like MLB, maybe in the NFL, if two teams in with the same record have a play-in game on like a Monday night. I would love to see things like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. That definitely would be cool for sure. But yeah, I see what you're saying, because that with the sorry teams being there, that's kind of like the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cowboys ain't bad this year. But yeah, the NFC East is notorious for having terrible teams and terrible records, and still being able to make it into the Super Bowl or make it into the playoffs, which doesn't happen in other leagues like that. So 5 minutes left. Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Chicago Bulls tonight, and I believe this is the first preseason game. They just had the wide and gold scrimmage on Saturday. The game's coming up fast.
Good. Then I'm ready for the season to get over faster.
What are you looking forward to about this season?
With the Cavs, honestly, I'm just looking forward to them to get another lottery pick. I mean, me being honest. I mean, this team, I don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give the Cavs their respect. I really like Garland. I like Sexton. I like Evan Mobley. I like Okoro. We need more. We need more. I really wanted them to go out and get Jalen Green. I felt like Jalen Green would have been a great pickup to put next to Darius Garland and have Darius Garland and Okoro, in between, and then go that way. But I mean, it seems like the Cavs is trying to go with a big lineup. They trying to put like 6 power forwards out there all at one time. So I'm curious to see what they do this year. Like as I do every year, I'm gonna give the Cavs until February. Until All-Star break. You get one half out of me. If they seem like that they're trending in the right waters, they're competing. I'll continue to watch them. But if you just laying down, you got so much drama going on with the team. I'm not even gonna be involved in it, man. I'm gonna just at that point, I'm gonna just kind of be like, all right, I see what's going on here.
Well, this ain't really a team that I anticipate there being a lot of drama on. The drama came with Kevin Porter Jr. Excuse me, Kevin Porter Jr. and he's been gone now, so this has been a relatively quiet team. But I do agree with you. Excuse me, that this team will be picking in the lottery again. They have a good young core and a good young nucleus, but it's just not enough to get done in this Eastern Conference. In the
Yeah.
Central Division, it's just not going to be enough, the pieces that they've added, because these guys just they're not there yet. And at times you wonder, okay, well, is Bickerstaff the coach for these guys? I think he can be, but these guys just aren't ready. And
Yeah.
it's kind of sad, but I say throw Taco Fall out there. He's 7'5".
Yeah. I feel like you should
Just give
keep him
him a
as a
bunch of
backup.
alley-oops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
give
like
him a bunch of alley-oops. He's 7'5".
Yeah, and one thing about Taco Fall, he can easily be a fan favorite. The Cavs right now don't have a fan favorite. They gave away that fan favorite in order to get Rubio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they gave away that fan favorite, which was Larry Nance Jr. So I think if you got Taco Fall, that would be a fan favorite. That would get people in them seats. I did watch the scrimmage. It looked like it was a lot of plastic people. What do they call them? The box people that they was using during COVID games last year. It looked like it was a lot of those people. It wasn't really many people there. It wasn't an exciting scrimmage like it would normally be. So, I got the the Cavs as a tier 1 team. It's only about 3 to 4 NBA tier 1 teams this year. I'll release that probably tomorrow. I'm gonna work on some tiers tonight. Matter of fact, I got something for my guy Chris Styles tomorrow. I'm gonna make my tier list of NBA teams, and then we're gonna go from there tomorrow. So stay tuned to that tomorrow. I got my tier list. Just know the Cavs is a tier 1 team. There is nothing exciting coming out of Independence this year. But I do look forward to them one day, hopefully making the playoffs post LeBron. I've been waiting on that for some years now.
Ooh, no Cavs slanders. What do you say? But Marshawn, I want to thank you for being with us. Even though you're an assignment, looking forward for you to join us tomorrow as well. And
okay,
we're gonna do a preview of the Browns Chargers and preview of Ohio State versus Maryland. So
Maryland by 30.
You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.